When you're on a long journey, it can be easy to get caught up in every single challenge.
I've never seen so many AIS targets in my life.
In fact, any truly lofty goal requires that we focus all of our attention to each problem as it arises.
I just saw Finn.
Oh God.
See it?
But now that we've completed our Atlantic crossing, and we have calm winds predicted for our sail to Gibraltar, the gateway to the Mediterranean, we have a chance to take a breath and look back on our journey to remind ourselves just how far we've come.
Yeah, it's funny because we almost always totally avoid places like this, right? Like really, really popular touristy places that are just packed with people. But it's been kind of a nice change of pace. We've been like going to the beach in the evenings and taking Oso here. And
I've had a really good time. We haven't had it like a beach vacation in a long time. Yeah, it's so funny. I can't wait to have a baby because to me, having Oso has just changed our cruising experience so much to the point where my favorite part of every day is just seeing him interact with wherever we are and getting to exercise him and just watch him, you know, have a good time. So I'm sure it's going to be like that, but tenfold with the baby. It turns out when we were sailing, we discovered another leak in the V-berth, and so all of my clothes, which I keep in my little closet, are just totally wet. I gotta wash a butt ton of clothes today. So much laundry. All right, well, I've got all my clothes gathered, and I'd really like to identify where that leak is coming from exactly, so that in our next passage, I don't have to do this all over again. Just to be safe, I'm gonna put all my clothes in trash bags and store them somewhere next time we get underway. But what do you think, where do you think the leak's coming from, bud?
So last time on the Atlantic crossing, the mattress got soaking wet. This time, the actual mattress area didn't get wet at all, like zero water. But this time your closet got a lot of water in it. The only difference between the Atlantic crossing and this trip was we were on a different tack, because this time we were on a port tack the whole time. The beginning of the trip where we did pound a little bit, it was your closet that got it. There's no way anything's happening before Malta. Yeah. So we need to come up with non-permanent solutions until we get there.
It sounds like trash bags it is. Need a big breakfast for moving day.
Yeah, so we are heading to Gibraltar today, which is exciting because like it's such a iconic, famous place, you know, right there at the entrance to the Mediterranean. And technically, we're not going to Gibraltar, we're going to La Linea.
Linea.
La Linea. La Linea.
Linea. Just say
Linea. La Linea is in Spain. And so we're both excited to be entering a Spanish-speaking country because at least I can speak some Spanish and she's basically fluent. So, but yeah, we've got a really good weather window to get to Gibraltar. Most importantly, the thing that's really challenging about this trip is the Strait of Gibraltar, because it's a really narrow body of water and the wind can really funnel through there, and it's generally coming out of the east. But tomorrow, all day, it's going to be coming out of the west. And so that is our opportunity to transit the strait. If we don't take this opportunity, who knows how long it could be until another one comes along. So let's finish this food and head on out. Well, it's a beautiful day out here on the Atlantic. This is our last 24 hours on the Atlantic. There you go.
Yeah.
Food for thought. It's beautiful, but it's a little uncomfortable because there's swell coming from like every direction. And I think what's happening is there's a little swell coming offshore and then hitting those cliffs and then bouncing back.
Oh, but technically we're on your watch, so I might just leave you to it.
Yeah.
Go down below for a little nap.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, so it looks like the wind's picking up just enough for us to start sailing, get the Genoa out. So let's do this. Oh, that is much better. Man, it feels good to be back out in open water. I guess one of the coolest things about like a blue water boat is literally if you get offshore, things get more comfortable and less stressful. There is a sense of freedom there that's like, oh yes, thank God, we're out here way away from land, which when I first started sailing, being away from land, being offshore was a stressful thing by itself. But now it's like we get out here and everything just slows down. And, you know, if I need to run down below and grab something or make some food or, you know, whatever, I'm not worried. There's nothing but blue all around us for miles. As long as I poke my head up every 15 minutes or so, we're good. Desiree and Oso are asleep. Sleepy little one?
Come on, horse.
Uh-oh, are you awake?
Hello. I had Oso right here and then he escaped.
Oh, look what he's got.
If I try to pull him too close this way, he'll let go. Because he knows. It's the danger zone. I'm really enjoying this stage of our adventure where we're just on the move, hopping from port to port with a, you know, final goal of getting to Malta. Feels like all that work we put into Atticus is finally paying off. I remember when we were in Key West working on Atticus 1, and we were just so self-conscious about ever finishing the refit of that boat. And not even finishing, just leaving Key West, because that was our goal, that was our dream, that was everything we lived for. 3 years in a boatyard, running out of money very quickly, working on a boat that we realized had a lot more problems than we ever could have imagined when we first bought it. Slowly and slowly started eating away at me, at least. And I just remember so many times feeling like it wasn't actually going to happen. If the current me could teleport back to Key West and just tell that Desiree, in so many years you're going to be crossing oceans on a beautiful, really well-built boat, and everything's okay. I wish I could time travel to just do that for my past self. Still got a lot to figure out, but I do know that right now I'm very happy and also getting pretty hungry. So I'm gonna head down below and start cooking dinner.
There's something about sunsets at sea, man. I mean, it is my favorite time of day for sure when sailing offshore. It just makes me happy to be alive, you know? It's like a lot of the time I feel like I need a goal, I need something to make me feel complete, you know? But sunsets offshore on our way somewhere, like there's a destination and a purpose. I'm just very happy to be alive, you know?
So as I look back at how far we've come since Atticus 1, it makes me realize that there's a group of people that we really need to thank for making this journey possible. And that's our patrons. The only reason that we're able to make these videos week after week is because a handful of our viewers took that extra step to become patrons and support our videos. So to our patrons, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. We really wouldn't be where we are without you. Now, if you'd like to consider becoming a patron, we do offer some pretty cool perks, like early access to ad-free versions of our episodes,
episodes. We're also usually a couple of months ahead of our videos, but we do have a patron-only Facebook group where we post real-time behind-the-scenes content. We do impromptu live streams, we answer questions, and we really just fill you in on what's happening in our day-to-day lives. Our patrons also have access to our Predict Wind tracking link, so every time we go offshore, you can know exactly where we are, what kind of wind conditions we're experiencing, and we post real-time updates about how we're feeling or what the crew morale is like. And finally, patrons are invited to any live events that we host. So things like our boat christening ceremony or boat show meetups or any local events that we host while we're traveling. So if you really love our videos and you want to help us continue to make them, head on over to patreon.com/Project Atticus to learn more.
All right, well, as the forecast predicted, the wind is starting to shift more from directly behind us, and so our sails are flogging all over the place. We're starting to roll, so
It's a big roll.
hold on, buddy. We'll probably set up the pole and then jibe over with the main. I'm just looking at the chart plotter and I've never seen so many AIS targets in my life. I mean, there's gotta be 100 ships in the vicinity. We knew that obviously the Straits of Gibraltar were gonna be really busy, but it's crazy to just see this many ships all in one place. We're gonna hold like a stricter watch than normal. So like every 12 minutes when we poke our head up, look around, look at the instruments and everything, we're also gonna check the radar and keep that on all the time. And that way we can see if there's any unlit vessels, if there's one boat that doesn't have their AIS working for some reason, whatever. We've gotta be really careful.
To the Strait of Gibraltar, and there's some kind of just crazy current ripping through here. On top of that, there is a shipping lane to our starboard side with huge boats going really fast. So anyways, well, this has been a stressful watch.
All right, I am coming back after an off watch and after a much needed nap. And we are now in the Straits of Gibraltar, which is pretty awesome.
A lot of people in boats out here. I miss the open ocean.
It's pretty though.
I haven't even had a chance to look. I'm just watching all these cargo ships and the screen. I'm just studying the screen. Like radar, GPS, radar, nav chart.
All right, we'll do it together, buddy.
Okay.
Well, aside from it being a little stressful with a whole lot of boats in a very small, confined space, it's pretty amazing that on our left is Spain and on our right is Morocco. So we've got Europe and North Africa basically looming over us on either side of this channel. And up ahead is the Rock of Gibraltar, the famous epic entrance to the Mediterranean. Isn't that crazy? We actually made it?
Yeah, it is weird. I haven't really processed it yet. I just saw Finn.
Oh God.
You see it?
Let's hope that Desiree did not see a killer whale. Oh, so you seeing killer whales? Man, so the strait themselves turned out to be not that challenging to navigate just because we were outside the traffic separation scheme, but now coming into this Gibraltar Bay, sorry, I don't actually know what it's called. This is nuts. Like there are dozens of boats coming in, going out. They're all like way bigger than we are. This is a challenge trying to keep track of all these different boats. It got so windy so quickly that it's getting a little hard to control the boat, which, I mean, it's kind of bad timing because there's these giant ships everywhere. What an exhilarating experience, you know? Like just blasting into one of the world's most famous harbors, the Rock of Gibraltar, giant ships, huge cranes, and we're just like
like flying in. Oh man, this is really cool.
All right, out at anchor. Feels so nice. We've got this beautiful view of the Rock of Gibraltar ahead of us. Nice beaches. The breeze is amazing.
The jet skiers zoom by very close.
That was a really intense last, I'd say, 4 hours. I'm exhausted, but well worth it. This is really cool.
Yeah, it is.
Home for the next couple days until we edit the next episode and find a good weather window to keep on heading east.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been at anchor and it feels very good.
Hey guys, thanks so much for checking out this week's episode. I wanted to take a couple of minutes to thank some of our newest patrons. So to our newest first mate level patrons, thank you so much, David F. Chick. To our newest bosun level patrons, a huge thank you to Smithy McIntosh and Brooks Harris. And to our newest Yachtmaster level patrons, thank you so much, Rich and Chrissy, aka the Critchards, R.M. Bird, Ken Anderson, and Stephen Miozy. And finally, to our newest deckhand level patrons, thank you so much, Rhonda Lutz, Dan, Noah, and Asher, William Runyon, Tony Kessler, Chris Clifton, Amanda Tomlinson, Jeff Sykes, Wayne London, Chuck Boulot, Michael East, Elizabeth Cook, and Gujan Magnuson. So to our newest patrons, as well as to our patrons who've been with us from the very beginning, thank you so much for your love, encouragement, and support. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week.